All right, guys, Patrick here with Maverick Tactical at the 2026 SHOT Show. We're here at the Mira booth with George Sickler here, in charge of, he is the Director of Business Development and R&D.
That's correct.
Right, very good. George, good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to see the booth. Man, what an awesome booth. I love the vehicle here, and looks awesome.
The M-Wrap is pretty cool. It's brought a lot of people into the booth for sure.
Yeah.
Very popular. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Mira. We carry some of your products. Tell us a little bit about Mira in general.
So Mira, what we like to do is prepare the average prepared-minded civilian. So whether that be personal protective equipment, ballistic armor, we're primarily here talking about gas masks, respirators, and filters today.
Right.
That's our core competency. And we have a phenomenal product line that meets really anybody's needs, from the average prepared-minded civilian to tactical people that are out in the field, frontline fields today.
Got you. I know we carry the 6M and the 8M generally.
Yep.
I know you've got a newer item as well. Which one is that?
So the C21 is our latest and greatest. That's this product that's right here. A little bit higher end than the tactical line, so retail price of about a little over $500. But similar to the form, fit, and function in the 8M, okay? All of the masks across the spectrum are all rated for chemical warfare agents and toxic industrial chemicals.
Gotcha.
So you can wear one of these masks in any one of those environments. The difference between the masks is just kind of how they fit on the face. If they fit a little bit cleaner with a helmet or night vision, that would be the difference. So on the C21 here, you can see it's a very narrow profile, which is going to allow me to mount a rifle more appropriately, and then having the proper riser on that optic, but it'll give me that cheek weld that we'd be accustomed to in that tactical environment.
Right.
So what I like to say when I teach firearms is, we bring the firearm to our head, not our head to the firearm. So this would kind of allow us to get a little bit better of a cheek weld on that.
Yeah,
and they all come with different outserts and stuff. So again, across the whole environment, whether you're talking about the voice projection units or the canteens or the filters, they all fit every one of our products.
And the 8M I know is really good for the firearm as well.
Yep,
that's
for
a
sure.
really good product. But with this now, you also have tell us about the.
So the outserts.
Yes.
Yeah. So these outserts, these lens covers, they'll go right over the top of the visor on the mask there, and they just pop on. And again, there's a couple of different reasons you might want to consider that. Number one being that we could tint that if you're going to be working outside in a sunlit environment, right, for sure, because you can't wear sunglasses underneath there typically. The other thing this allows you to do, it'll protect the lens. So if you scratch this, we're just going to replace that wearable on there. Also, if it was, everybody can kind of relate to ketchup. If I threw ketchup across it and you wipe it, it'll smear.
Right.
I can just kind of take this off very quickly, and I can get myself right back into the fight, or I can get myself out of the fight if that was the world you were in.
Right. So that's one of the newer things that I've seen.
For sure.
With
yeah,
that.
for sure.
So we love the products. Really great for, like you said earlier, general public.
Yep.
As well as law enforcement, things like that.
For sure.
So
yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about, in this segment, the different filters and what they're for. So George, educate us a little bit.
Yeah, so we have a wide spectrum of filters. And again, if we're talking about that police filter, the police officer, civil disturbance kind of thing, or prepared-minded civilian, I like to recommend two. And to me, in my opinion, we're talking about the PCAN, stands for police canister, which is going to filter out your different riot control agents. It's listed right on there, your CN, your CS, your OC sprays, the typical things that you might see in that civil unrest environment.
Right.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question real quick. On the PCAN, is that also, because I think of that too as in the California wildfires, would that also be one that you could potentially use for that, or no?
No, it wouldn't be my preference, right? I would probably go down to something on the other line there.
Okay.
Some of those metallic filters, they work in that filtration with smoke and stuff, and carbon monoxide.
So
it's a little bit different.
not for that.
I wouldn't use the PCAN for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
wouldn't be my preference.
That's why we're here to educate here.
And then the other one too, I think the flagship for us, really for anybody, is the NBC 77 Soft. And if you think about, I'll call it your WMD, your NBC, your CBRN filter. And what those mean is NBC, nuclear, biological, chemical, WMD, weapons of mass destruction, CBRN, chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, kind of pretty much mean the same thing, right? There's some differences in nomenclature, but for us here today, it's going to be the same thing. And then this is going to filter out all of those different things from your CWAs, your chemical warfare agents, your mustards, your sarins, etc. It's also going to filter out your TICs and TIMs, which would be your toxic industrial chemicals, your toxic industrial materials. So some of those things that you can find in Home Depot, I like to say sometimes, well, I don't like to say it, but they could be used nefariously in an attack.
Things that you could just buy over the counter.
Again, right? Like they can be created. We won't go into that whole thing, but they can be used potentially as a weapon of mass destruction. This is going to give you that spectrum from A to Z to do it there. And again, with a 20-year shelf life, unopened, you know, you really can't get any better than that.
Yeah, that's one of the things we stress to our customers as well. Leave that sealed container.
For sure.
Don't pop it. Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for educating us a little bit on the basic canisters that attach to the mask. I do have a question though.
Sure.
You know, I see that you have 2 capabilities, right?
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about that. Would I want 1 on there? Or would I want 2? Tell me the scenarios of that.
Yeah. So we want 1. Okay. It's really a dual port on here, and any filter, it's based on that 40 millimeter NATO standard threading system. So meaning that most gas masks have that 40 millimeter standard. All of ours have that 40 millimeter standard. They're dual ports, meaning that I can put it on either side.
Gotcha.
You start to really increase the breathing resistance if I were to put 2 on there.
Okay.
At that point, I think you might want to kind of go into something that would be a little bit more filtration, but this is called a PAPR. It's positive pressure.
Yeah.
So like when I flip this on, I would put 2 filters on here.
But it's
giving it breathing resistance, but you can hear it being powered.
Yep.
That's forcing air through the filters to come into what would be then the port in the mask.
That's it. Yeah.
So as far as the 2 ports on either side, they're really designed for a right-handed shooter or a left-handed shooter.
Gotcha.
So again, as a right-handed dominant shooter, I would mount my canister on the left. And the difference is, some of the industrial masks which we carry, more for industry, that filter's in the front, and if you're using a larger canister, you really can't get the rifle up there, if that was going to be the part that you're operating in.
Right.
So, again, people talk about, well, what if I need to switch firearms to the other side? Again, we're talking about probability versus possibility in a chemical environment. It's not really a need at that point. But keep it on one side. You don't need the additional breathing resistance. One is fine.
There you go. Awesome. A little education there, guys.
I like to say too that when I was growing up as a kid and just being a prepared-minded kid, we used to say wrong place, wrong time. I think what society has gotten now when I teach these concepts to civilians is, it's not the wrong place, wrong time anymore. It's any place, any time. So really having the ability to protect myself or my family. I don't want to be involved in that incident that might be on the highway. I want to go home, mind my own business. But any place, any time, it could kick off. It's just the world that we live in today.
And that is exactly why we do what we do as well. It's the same thing, same process. Is the world has gotten a little different than what it used to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, great. Thank you for a little time spent here. Love the setup here, and we'll get a little B-roll and show this. Cool. What exactly is this? So
the MRAP, it's an acronym, and it stands for Mine Resistant Ambush Protected. Gotcha. So it's very high off the ground, and the bottom of the chassis originally was designed if there was an IED. It's more of a military-style vehicle, but an IED would go off. It would do some sort of shielding and blast effect away from the bottom of the vehicle. Ambush protected, where you're not getting into this thing from the outside. It's a very hard, penetrable target at that point. So, and then Roman kind of went to town on it. What I would say, he pimped it out with a stereo system. The only thing we weren't allowed to put in there, because his wife said no, was a hot tub. So maybe that'll come in the next version.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to be walking around a little bit more. Thanks for tuning in with us. George, thanks for taking some time with us.
My pleasure.
All right?
My pleasure.
And we'll see you soon.